Siberius, and we about to get serious. It's the real Siberius, making fanboys furious.
Hello, YouTube, and welcome to The Real Siberius. On this episode, I want to talk about LeBron is trying to build another super team in Cleveland. If Cleveland actually attempts this and succeeds in bringing this team together, they deserve a fucking Darwin Award because they're going to be killing their franchise in the dumbest way humanly possible. Let's break down these pieces they are bringing in. Number one, James Harden. Harden is maybe the worst postseason star of all time. This is his sixth team, and he has absolutely nothing to show for his efforts other than the millions of dollars he's stolen from each of these franchises. Number two, LeBron James, -23, the anti-Jordan. The biggest liability in the NBA right now. If he isn't blowing on his hands or wiping them on his shirt, he is a ghost on defense. If they put a cardboard cutout of him on the court instead, it would play better defense because at least the other team would have to go around it. LeBron plays defense like a turnstile. You could just go right by. He shouldn't be shouting, "Hey!" He should be shouting, "Olay!" like he's a matador. Because just like a matador, given the opportunity, he would stab his opponent before the match to give himself an edge, and then he would still gloat about the victory. Number three, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'll give Giannis, he has a ring. He didn't even have to build a super team to get it. However, Giannis works on his game about as much as LeBron does. He's played the same way for 13 years, and in the softest era, he has one ring. Congratulations. That's like being the best reader in a remedial class. Number four, Donovan Mitchell. I don't know him. I didn't know him. And given that my introduction to him is him saying we both won a championship in regards to the Cavs acquiring Harden, I don't like him. He played a role in this acquisition. You're not the GM. Mind your own business and play basketball. After watching some of his gameplay, he has enough to worry about without spending time concerning himself with what players are or are not coming to his team. Also, if you want Harden on your team, you don't care about winning. They are attempting to stack the deck, but what they're actually doing is building a house of cards, and the foundation is fragile and shaky as hell. This is going to be a failure of epic proportions, and I can't wait to watch it crumble right before my eyes. Shout out to both 93Z and Uncommon Sense, because I saw that they did videos on this as well, and that's kind of where I got the idea from. But this, first of all, the fact that this shit can continue to happen just goes to show the NBA is a fucking joke. And competition is dead. Beyond dead. There are no competitors left in this game. Everybody wants to take a helicopter to the top. They don't want to grind it out, figure it out, improve their game, face the challenge, overcome the obstacle. None of that shit happens anymore. Now, the beauty of this, if this team does come to fruition, is if they win, no one gives a shit. That ring will hold as much weight as the bubble ring. No one will care. However, they're not winning a fucking thing. When this team absolutely shits the bed and doesn't even make the play-in, we just get a laugh in LeBron's face. There's not really a lose in this situation. LeBron has already had to cheat the game for each of his 4 rings. If he gets a 5th ring cheating, no one cares. Absolutely no one will give a shit. Fanboys will, but who cares? Fanboys think a lot of stupid things, and all we do is laugh at them. So they can celebrate themselves for another ring that no one cares about. Actual fans of basketball, of the game, quite frankly, won't care either way. He wins his 5th ring, who cares? He doesn't win another ring, who cares? I would say if him winning his 5th ring will get him the fuck out of the NBA, then I'm all for it. Just give it to him. I mean, the NBA colludes to try to get him wins he didn't earn anyway. They're having to facilitate all of these trades going on. So they're basically giving him this anyway. Why don't they just give him the ring? Even if we knew that the NBA said, we're going to rig the entire thing and LeBron will get his 5th ring, his fanboys are still going to celebrate it and we're still not going to give a shit. So who cares? How am I supposed to care about a game that doesn't care about itself? That has zero fucking integrity between the commissioner, the player base, the media, and the modern day fans. Fuck it. Burn it all down. Because this isn't the game that I love. It's nowhere near it. It's not even the same thing. It's not even the same fucking sport. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this has become. But if they're going to allow and then facilitate, I don't even know if you can call this a super team because there's not going to be anything super about it. It will be a super failure, but I don't think that's what they're aiming for. But if you're just going to allow this to happen, why don't you just form teams of the quote-unquote best players in the league and have them compete against each other? At least that might be entertaining to watch. I just can't believe that in the softest, weakest era in NBA history, they still have to cheat the game to win. Are you kidding me? This is just a league full of punks. I don't even really know what the hell else to say. I'm disgusted by this. I kept telling myself after I started watching the NBA again that another player will come around that thinks, wow, you know what? I got drafted to the Pelicans, or I got drafted to the Hornets, or I got drafted to the Wizards. Time to put in more work. This team is garbage, but I'm not garbage, and I'm not going to allow my teammates to be garbage. And to inspire, to encourage, to force his teammates to get better, to force himself to get better, to just rise to the fucking challenge and say, I don't care that I got put on the worst team. And yeah, last season we had the worst record in the league, but you didn't have me. So that's going to change. I don't think that's ever going to happen now. I think I have lost all hope to think that somebody's going to come along and take on that challenge and bear that burden. Why the fuck would they? With a guaranteed contract, you get paid whether you play or don't. So why the fuck wouldn't players load manage? Clearly, winning doesn't matter. Joel Embiid has made $500 million and hasn't won a fucking thing. He also hasn't played 70 games in a season in the 10, 11 years he's been in the league. So if you don't have to win and you don't have to play and you can still make hundreds of millions of dollars or $500 million, where is your incentive? There's a quote from Jordan, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but he was talking about guaranteed contracts and how, especially when your first contract is so large, there's nothing to go for. You don't have to earn anything. You already have it. You're forcing out the need to compete. You're robbing them of hunger. I don't know if it's younger generations. I have to be honest, from my experience with younger generations, that plays a significant role in all of this, if not the most significant role in all of this. They don't want to earn shit. Somehow, they feel they're entitled to everything. I should have the best job, or I should be a famous YouTuber, or I should be Instagram famous, whatever the fuck that is. But then when they realize the amount of work that takes, they don't want to do it anymore. I'm never, ever going to make money from this YouTube channel. It's just not going to happen. I've been doing this for about 7-8 months now. I don't even have 200 subscribers. Maybe in 5 years, I'll get to 1,000 and be able to monetize. But it's not the fucking point. It's not why I started doing it. I don't care about clicks. I don't care about views. I appreciate the subscribers I have, but I don't care about subscribers. I do this because it's what I want to do. If success comes from it, that's fantastic. But that's not the goal. People just aren't willing to put in any effort anymore. They're not willing to try. They're not willing to overcome. And I hate to keep bringing this up, but the reality is it's every day of my life. I don't ever get a break, so it comes up often. I have 3 fucking brain injuries. There are things I cannot do. But you know what? I figure it the fuck out. I put in the effort. I challenge my brain every single fucking day. And yet, there are millions and millions of people who have fully functioning brains I had to take a second because when I mention that, I get fucking angry. It takes so much effort for me to do the simplest of things. And when I see people that have every opportunity, every advantage, every entitlement, and they don't do anything with it, that feels like spitting in my face. That's disrespectful. I view that as disrespect because I don't have the luxury of a fully functioning brain, of a fully functioning body. But I don't use it as an excuse. I said it in another video. I said it in the posts on my channel. I don't make excuses. I make results. I don't sit around crying and whining about would've, could've, should've, because no one gives a shit. That's what it comes down to. No one cares about your problem. You better care, but no one else does. So when I hear professional athletes talking about, well, you know, the game is so much faster pace, go fuck yourself. I don't praise fish for swimming. I've had people tell me in the comment section of my channel that I need to let the hate in my heart go. I don't have hate in my heart. I don't. What I do have that people consistently seem to misrepresent as hate is fucking passion. I care about living. I care about life. I care about the way that I do it. I hold myself to an incredibly high standard. And because I hold myself to an incredibly high standard, I hold everyone around me to an incredibly high standard. And if you can't live up to that standard, or at least show me you're putting in a lot of fucking effort, maybe you don't need to be in my life. Integrity takes work. Passion takes work. Effort takes work. I don't give a shit if people lose. If you tried. If you gave it your all. It's when they give a half-assed effort or start making excuses, I just lost all respect for you. There's a way to handle things, and there's a way not to handle things. Perspective changes everything. When LeBron went out into that post-game press conference with the scarf on his hand, or the bendable cast, which isn't a thing, and said, I've been playing the last 3 games with a broken hand. First of all, no, you fucking haven't. What you could have said is, I broke my hand. I did what I could. It wasn't enough. Maybe I should have got out of the game. Maybe I should have gave somebody without a broken hand a chance because I didn't get it done. That alone would have changed that entire narrative. It would have changed how I perceived him as an individual and the circumstance. One thing that he fails to realize, self-deprecation is an incredibly valuable tool. If you tell people, yeah, I'm just absolute shit. I did my best, but I just came up short. I'm fucking awful. They will defend you, especially if they saw you putting in effort. There's a difference between self-deprecation and an excuse. Anyway, this video was not what I expected it to be, but I take this shit seriously. Maybe more than I should. Maybe I need to change my perspective to the LeBron perspective of it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. The reality is, though, I can't do that. I don't think anything is just anything. There's actually a quote that I got from Uncommon Sense, and I had just never heard it put so succinctly. And he says, how you do anything is how you do everything. It's funny because that's absolutely how I have lived my life. I've talked about it with my brother. I've talked about it with my nephews. I've talked about it with my friends. It doesn't matter if I'm making my bed, cleaning the bathroom, building a computer, or playing a fucking game. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. So how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you give a half-assed effort in one thing, I'm going to assume you give a half-assed effort in everything. I don't give half-assed efforts. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you made it to the end, I certainly appreciate it. As always, I want to shout out the content creators that continue to inspire me to do this. Uncommon Sense, Angry Old Hoops, Self-Researched NBA Facts, 93 Zay, Sports and Fitness Rants, Uncut Hoops, Beam Engine, In Your Face Hoops, Eddie TV, King Speech Row, Goatcast Hoops. I always appreciate your guys' takes, your perspectives, and your humor. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.